our beliefs is what makes up our entire human experience. So when you want something to change outside of you, you have to change something inside of you. How do you access those beliefs to make change even possible? That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's go get that nugget. Welcome, ladies, to the Life Mastery for Women podcast. I'm Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind, your host. This is where we go to learn to master our life one nugget at a time. Let's take a moment, in this moment, to just call our energy back. Breathing in deeply together through the nose, holding it at the top just for a second, and then releasing. Just release the stress, release the worries, release the problems. Calling back our energy is closing all of the mental tabs that you have open of all the problems, the to-dos, the worries. Mentally picture those tabs open and mentally picture yourself clicking the X on every one of those tabs. As all those tabs are open, you have energy strands coming from your body going out to those tabs. And I want you to call all your energy back right now in this moment. Bringing back that energy right into your heart space. Feel your body filling back up with your attention and your presence. You can even put your hand on your heart, feeling the energy, breathing in deeply, feeling the support underneath you, giving yourself a present, a gift of your attention in this moment. Breathe in. Feel your feet on the floor, hold your breath at the top, and breathe out, and feeling your body sinking just a little bit deeper into the support underneath you. Hey guys, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you switching your negative beliefs or your disempowering beliefs for something more courageous, something more empowered. And if you're not, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. I love talking about beliefs. I love it. I love it so much because I have turned the corner in my life to recognize that when I want change to happen, I'm not going out there anymore. I'm not going out there to look for it. I'm not going out there to force it. I'm not going out there to try to coerce, manipulate. I don't know what all those words, but to try to force change to happen outside of me. I love knowing that everything I need is tucked away inside. I kept hearing that when I was younger, and even as in my 30s when I started my spiritual journey and really started diving into this kind of teaching and this knowledge and starting to implement those things. And I remember hearing, it's all the answers are deep inside of you. And I'm like, well, then why am I filled with a whole bunch of I don't knows? How do I get past that? And I love knowing now how to get past it, because everything that you do want, that you do need, it really is inside of you. And I love knowing that. Now here's what I mean, so I can clarify it for you if you are on the journey and you keep hearing it and you're like, I don't have any idea what that means. The how to do something is, some of it's this outside knowledge. If I was 13 years old and I wanted to be a heart surgeon, I can't really just go do that, right? I have to grow a little, I have to mature, I have to go to college, I have to go to medical school, I have to become a doctor. In order to do that, you have to practice, right? You need that kind of knowledge. But when you get to a place where you're like, okay, how do I find the love of my life? I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to go out there and just keep looking and keep dating and keep manipulating people when I do get in relationships with them and it doesn't turn out to be the way I want it to be. That knowledge is tucked away inside. And it is in the becoming that is that's the theme so far this year. I just keep coming around to this. And I feel like those answers are inside of us because it is not up to us to figure out how something is going to happen. It is just up to us that we become the person who has that experience. So a couple of episodes ago, I talked about my experience in personal relationships where they were just terrible. And I recognized somewhere in there through the process of making the decision to to find and harness the love of my life and bring that kind of experience to me, that somewhere in that process, I had to become someone else by the book that I found. Because they're like, basically, you can't be a weenie and attract a confident person. You just can't. Now, there is something to say about opposites attract, but there is still this level of confidence and level of authenticity that creates that kind of a relationship. So we're not talking about relationships today, but I am talking about becoming. And I am talking about tackling your beliefs. So in this episode, where we start to understand that our entire life, your whole entire life experience, all of the areas of your life are based on certain beliefs about how you think things should go, how you believe about money and your career and your relationships and your connections and your finances, and your health. Did I say health? And your health. That if you believe that, oh yeah, you get a disease, the only way to take care of it is through surgery. If you believe that, then that is what will start to attract in your life. We've talked about it so many times where I talk about the different levels of vibration. If you're on a scale from, 1 to 10, and 10 is just this blissful state. If you're generally a 4, your experiences in your life are generally 4s. Anyway, this is where everything is housed in your subconscious mind. So go back in time. If you drive, which I'm assuming probably most of you do, driving, when you first learned, was this very heightened state. And you're very aware, very awake. Okay, I got to put both hands, 10 and 4 or 10 and 3 or whatever it is, on the steering wheel. And I got to use the mirrors, and I got to adjust the seat. And I got to use my blinker. And there's a car. Oh, there's a lady with a dog. Here comes a stop sign. Where am I going? There's all this stuff to learn. You're in a very awakened state. Okay. When you're in that state, you're in a beta brainwave. So you're very awake, you're very conscious, you're learning. Now fast forward 10, 15, 20, 35 years, you are no longer in that awakened state when you're behind the wheel of a car. Because, and here's why, because it is, for one, takes too much mental energy for the body to stay in that awakened state for long periods of time. It takes a lot of mental energy. It's also exciting, right? But it takes a lot. And the subconscious mind says, once you repeat something so often, your subconscious mind, will go ahead and take that task from you. And it will become automatic. It will become autopilot. Now, most of our things that we do, most of the tasks are on the way you brush your teeth, the way you put your clothes on, the way you drive your car to work, the things you do at work. A lot of those things are on autopilot. And I call that sleepwalking. During this period of sleepwalking, we're on autopilot, and that is a good state to be in. It's a very relaxed state. The body is in charge. So you will do things automatically, okay? Some of that's good, and some of it's not so good. Now, some of the not so good things, those are your beliefs about food, money, relationships, health, that are detrimental to your growth. Your subconscious mind will then prevent you from growing because anything that's outside of that comfort zone is scary. And if it's outside of that comfort zone and it's scary, the subconscious mind will do everything it can, which is a lot, to prevent you from going. Know the comfort zone. And they say, what does everyone say? Success is outside the comfort zone. What that means is success is outside of that autopilot. I now need to take the reins back, take the steering wheel back from my subconscious mind, put my subconscious mind in the back seat and say, I'm going to drive for a little while. I want to learn something new. And this is where we come to today's episode, where we are going to talk about how do we install new empowering beliefs. Because if you want something new, you get to the end of the road about your relationship and you're like, dude, I need something better. Like, this is sucking. I'm getting tired of living like this. I'm getting tired of not having blank and blank and blank, whatever that is. Your mind comes out of the autopilot and says, okay, I don't want to drive this road anymore. Okay. I want something new. And you start to dream a little. You start to think about a new relationship, a new job, more money, new location, something. And during that state, that dreaming state, the subconscious mind goes, wait. That's fun that we can dream for a second, but here, we're not actually going to go, which is why I feel like most people don't dream anymore. Most people are like, no, I'm not going to even want that thing because there's too much resistance. I have had numerous clients where I try to get them to expand in their thinking and kind of put their heads in the clouds. And they go, yeah, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm never going to get a job. I'm never going to get a raise. I'm never going to find the love of my life. I basically have given up. The subconscious mind has won. The body that holds your beliefs has won. But I'm here to tell you, this is the turning point to make the choice that says, I am going to overcome. I am going to overcome my subconscious mind. And again, you do the same thing. You just do it for a short period of time. And then the subconscious mind picks up the new habit and creates the autopilot in a new direction. So think of all the things that you do on autopilot. How easy is it for you to get up and get ready? Now, maybe the getting up part is not so easy, but once you get up and you get through the autopilot type things, brushing your teeth or take a shower, you do your hair, you get dressed and you get in the car and you pack your lunch, do all that stuff. And it's pretty easy. You can kind of almost think of something else. You could sing a song, you could watch some TV show on your phone and take in that information while you're doing something else, sort of like multitasking. But it kind of becomes easy, right? Well, what if I told you that you can do that same thing, but create new behaviors, new actions, new thoughts, new beliefs that lead towards a different direction? It's like being in your car and instead of going to the right, you go to the left. Instead of going to the right towards North Carolina, you turn to the right and you head towards or to like Southern California. What if it was like that easy? This, my friends, is where change really begins, but also life becomes exciting because you kick out the autopilot, you get in the car and you get to choose where you go. Now, does it require a little waking up? Just like when you first learn to drive, you're in this heightened state, you're very awake, you're very aware, you're very alert, but then eventually you begin to relax. So let's talk about beliefs. Beliefs are simply this. They are a thought that you keep thinking so much, you think it so much that your subconscious mind picks it up and puts it on autopilot. It's simple as that. Now, you do have to recognize that your subconscious mind is very strong and it is going to attempt to overpower you. So take a time where you've ever tried to do something like, I'm going to save extra money. So every single month, I'm going to save X amount. And then all of a sudden you get that paycheck and your subconscious mind kicks in because your belief about money is, I never have enough. Okay, let's do that one. I never have enough money. And you go, you know what? I'm sick of that. I'm getting older. I want to start creating a savings account. I want to start saving, maybe even saving for something. But I just want to start saving money. I want to start being responsible for my money. And your mind is on board with it. The subconscious mind is like, yeah, we'll see. So you get your paycheck, and all of a sudden, something piques your interest in a store. You're like, ooh, yeah, we could use a new TV. Ooh, what about a new dining room set? Ooh, I could use a new pair of clothes or new pair of jeans or something. Or something even worse. Something happens to the car. Crap. Now I got to get a new muffler. I blew a tire. I have to get new tires. I have to get new brakes. Okay. Have you ever had that happen? That is the subconscious mind at work. Now, if you are wanting significant change, this is not where you go, okay, I'm going to save money and I feel the deprivation of it. Okay, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to choke down a salad and I'm going to drink water all day long. And you can do it and you're doing it and you're like, oh, this is so terrible and I hate it, but I really want to lose weight. You will lose weight, but at what cost? How hard is it to do it that way? That is what's called matter to matter. Matter meaning what we think of as physical. That is using your physical forces to force matter to change. I am using my willpower. I'm kinking the hose. I am forcing something to change. Now, what happens is eventually you're going to default back to the subconscious beliefs. When you default back to the subconscious beliefs, what happens? I'm just going to have one piece of cake. I'm just going to have a few chips. I'm just going to have one little bar of chocolate. And then all of a sudden you go back to sleepwalking again. 2 weeks later, you're eating all the same foods. A month later, you've gained back 10 pounds. By the end of the summer, you're back to right where you were, and sometimes worse. I saw it happen when I ran my boot camp class as a personal trainer. I saw that happen all the time, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on. where you hear these like yo-yo diets and the person gains weight and they lose weight and they gain weight and they lose weight. Okay, it's terrible on the body for that to happen, but I'm like, what is the underlying factor of that? It's their belief. It's this undercurrent that runs in your life that says, but wait, you don't believe that you are ever going to sustain that weight. You don't believe that you will ever have enough money. And at the end of the day, you won't. You can force it. You can kink the hose. You can like really manipulate. You can try so hard. You'll get this money in and then something will happen. The furnace will go. The car will blow. Something will happen and you'll have to spend all that money. And you're like, I am trying so hard. If you say that, that is the clue. If you say things like, I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm trying so hard. Why don't I ever get a break? This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Why can't I make this work? Those sentences, if you're ever caught saying anything that's like that, that is exactly what you're doing. You're trying to force it. You're trying to make it work. You're trying to beg it into existence. It's not going to work. So here's what we do. You have to install new beliefs. From this place of believing something different, you're going to create something different. So here's an example. Now, I've been pretty thin and fit my whole life. Okay. Both of my mom and my grandma had full hysterectomies. And then all of a sudden they would get what's called the hysterbelly. This is a hysterectomy belly. And they would have these skinny little legs, the skinny little upper body, and this kind of pretty good sized belly. Well, I believed back then, before I had my own hysterectomy, that I was going to be thin and fit my entire life. I could eat anything I want. I could never gain weight. I love being fit. I'm very active. I move around all the time. I feel great. I have a lot of energy. I have a high metabolism. Those were all my beliefs. Except when I had my hysterectomy in 2017, that year I gained 20 pounds. And guess where I gained it? You bet. Pretty much in my belly. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, this is so weird to me. I was always so thin and fit. And I don't have those beliefs that I'm going to gain weight when I get older. I'm like, oh yeah, I must have the belief that if you have a hysterectomy, then you end up with the hysterbelly. I'm like, son of a, what am I going to do? So from here, I'm going to install a new belief. And I'm going to work at that core belief to change whatever it is, so I have a new experience. So when you get to the bottom of that belief, and here's what we're going to talk about, because I talk plenty about how you uncover the beliefs, okay? Just list them. List a topic, list all the beliefs that you have about them. Find the core belief that is creating the outcome, like I never have enough money, or if I have a hysterectomy, I'm going to get this big belly. Now, once you get there, think about, if they have that belief, what is the outcome? Oh my gosh, if I'm constantly saying I never have enough money, and look at in my bank account, weird, I never have enough money. I need to change that belief in order to change the outcome. So if somebody was thin and fit, regardless of whatever kind of surgery they have, what beliefs would they have? I'm thin and fit no matter what. I can easily burn fat. It doesn't even have to do with surgery. You could add on there. You can add that to the end. Or what about money? I always have plenty. Money comes to me from various areas. I have many income streams. Money is easy because I create it. Now, when you are installing, there's a few steps in between here. The first is to uncover. The first is to identify your beliefs. Now, go back, when I was going back in time and I was a personal trainer, I worked with clients who were eating terribly. I remember I had a 7 a.m. boot camp class, and I had probably 8 women in this class. And this one woman would show up in my class, and she would come in with like a half a breakfast sandwich from Burger King and like a Diet Coke or something. And I always gave her a hard time. Like, what in the... She goes, well, I'm supposed to eat breakfast before class. I'm like, well, yeah. But like 90 minutes before class, like you're going to be barfing pretty soon. Well, anyway, so she stood in the middle of class and finished her sandwich and drank her pop and then joined class. And sure enough, here comes a shade of green. And I'm like, dude, I said, you do need to eat breakfast, but maybe not a big full meal from Burger King, or maybe not Burger King at all. maybe something, like a small bowl of oatmeal or maybe a couple of eggs or maybe a banana or something. And then do that at home and then come to class. She was probably 45 minutes from where I was holding class. Anyway, but she had the belief that I need to eat breakfast before I go to boot camp. I'm like, well, yes, of course you do. But really, that's the kind of breakfast you choose? Well, if you are believing this, and I'm thinking, I'm thin and fit, I can eat anything I want. However, I was still very limited. One of my beliefs was I'm a conscious eater. That was one of my beliefs. And I uncovered that one probably, several years ago now, but 7-8 years ago, that I would go to a party. There's just this huge buffet of food. Everyone's just kind of like plate after plate. There's 6 pies. There's all these drinks, all this food, all this stuff. But I was very conscious of how much I would take. And because I'm a conscious eater, that attributed to me having the body that I had. So I'm not going to go get a bag of chips and eat the whole thing. I'm not going to go to the store and come home with a half a dozen donuts and eat all of them, because my beliefs and my actions would be in discord. Your beliefs and your actions and your talk, all of that must equal itself. They all have to be coherent, if you will. They have to be in agreement. So if I'm finding that I'm trying to go in this direction, but I kind of don't want to go, like I want to lose weight and I'm going to eat a salad, but I don't really want a salad. Everyone else is having pizza. If you're finding that there's that discord there, that is right there, the flag, the warning. Work on your beliefs. Work on your beliefs. It's just like if I want to save money, but every time I get my paycheck, I spend the whole thing and I'm at the store and I'm feeling guilty. That sign right there is a sign that your beliefs and your actions are in discord. When that happens, this is where you have to kind of wake up a little bit. When that happens is you go, okay, what is it that I want? Do I want to spend my money or do I want to keep my money? You're in discord. I want to have money to spend. Great. Let's create a new belief. So let's go through the steps. I can give you examples all day long, but let's get you equipped, right? So the very first thing is to identify the beliefs. And I have a ton of episodes on this. Go into the search, type in beliefs, and you're going to find probably 8 or 9 or 12 episodes. And identify them. Write the topic. Write on there, ask yourself, what do I believe about health? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about relationships? Whatever. And then write all those beliefs down. Now, the next step is to take that core belief. Let's say the one is, I never have enough money. You take that core belief. Well, that would definitely prevent money from coming in, or certainly prevent it from staying in. Is see how it impacts your life in a negative way. See the discord. I never have enough money. How does that impact my life? Well, anytime I need to, my furnace kicks out, or I need a new dishwasher, or the garage door doesn't open, I need to hire someone to come out, I might not have money in my account. That negatively impacts me. Then ask yourself, what do I want instead? What do I want instead of this? Well, I want to have plenty of money in my account, but more or less, I might say something like, I want money to come in easily. I want money to come in triple the amount that I spend. I want money to come in from multiple sources. I want money to come in passively, right? So when we're getting ready to install a new belief, what do we have to do first? Well, we have to release the old belief. We have to be willing. We have to be open to the idea of letting the other belief go. We have to be open and willing to let the other belief go. Okay, I never have enough money. Am I willing to let that go? Now, if you want to take it a level deeper, I do this in my classes. I do this at every event. I do this in every group coaching program. I do it with my clients all the time, is finding out where the belief came from, why you have it, and where it's located in the body. This is where we talk about energy. Sometimes it's easier to go find it and visually release it. Let go of that energy, give it back to Mother Earth, let her transmute it into something beautiful, and you install the new belief. And I'm not kidding. You will go to Google right now and say, how do you get rid of a belief? And it'll say therapy. What else did it say? I just had this pulled up. Oh, let me pull it up here. Therapy, explore the origins, cognitive restructuring, affirmations, which don't work. You're bringing in a belief on top of a belief. It's not going to work. I have a podcast that I think is actually titled "Why Affirmations Don't Work." You need to know when to do them. You need to know how to do them. not just repeat them 10,000 times and expect them to work. They're not going to. Then it says behavioral change. Well, if you still have the belief, again, you're forcing yourself to eat lettuce and drink water when you really don't want to. And it's only going to be a matter of time that you're going to default back to your subconscious mind. And that says patience and persistence. No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that because I do this all the time. I walk my clients through this. When we are releasing the belief about money, relationships, health, once you release it, you release it. Now, you might have more than one. You might have other money beliefs. You might have 35 money beliefs that we have to get through. But I will tell you, once they're gone, they're gone. And you don't have to come back to it. I do it all the time. My coach taught me how to do it. I do it a little bit differently than what she taught me. And it's like, gone. And I just love it. I told you the story of she was actually a personal training client who hated working out at the gym. I ended my boot camp. She calls me, several months or half a year, something later. And she goes, Jen, I need your help. She goes, I know you do this other coaching now, but back then we called it life coaching. It's not what I do anymore. But she goes, I know you're doing this life coaching, but I really want to talk to you about, I need to get back to working out, but I hate going to the gym. I'm embarrassed. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I said, okay, let's coach it. So she's like, I keep trying. I get in the parking lot and I got in the front door and I got into the actual gym. She goes, but never once have I been able to actually work out. I'm just uncomfortable. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I don't like it. I said, okay, let's coach it out. We get all the way down. We go through this process. We release it. We release the belief. And guess what? The next morning, as if she owned the place, walked in there, did an hour-long workout, came back in the car, 7:10 in the morning, called me on the phone. And she goes, oh my God, Jen, you're not going to believe this. She goes, I can't thank you. One session, you guys, one. I can't thank you enough. She goes, now I'm like game on because of all the stuff. They had a pool. They have courts. They have a huge, huge exercise area with treadmills and ellipticals and bikes and weight equipment and all that stuff. And she goes, now I need to hire you to come in and create a workout for me. She goes, I literally had zero anxiety. I walked in there like I freaking owned the place. One session, one chance. Her life has changed forever. And that was probably 2013. So 10 years ago. And she's still working out at the gym. So that's it. Okay. This is how powerful this work is. This is why I'm on this planet, is to help people understand why they're trying to make change happen and why it's not sticking, why it's not working. So after you see how it impacts your life, when I have this belief, this is why I don't have money. This is why I don't have the health that I want. Then you're ready to install the new belief. You have to release the old one. You have to let go of it. I told you there's a process we walk through. You release it. But at least on your end, you can be willing. I am willing to release this belief. I am allowing a new belief to come in. Then you start playing with the new belief. If I didn't believe this, what would be true for me? If I didn't believe that after you had a hysterectomy and you gained all this weight and had this big belly, what would I believe? And then in that moment, you're installing a new empowering belief. From that place, this is where action, your behavior, and your thoughts and everything you say start to change. When you have all of those pieces in place, it is only a matter of time before everything starts falling into place with ease. Because I can go out there and force feed myself, kale and green beans and drink water all day. And I can lose weight. But at the end of the day, it's hard. It's hard. And at the end of the day, it's not enjoyable. It's not fun. It's not exciting. But it's changing. Yeah, I lost weight. But it's only going to be a matter of time before I go back because it's too hard to stand in the river and go upstream. It's too hard. And eventually you're going to give in and you're going to go back the other way. So this way, you go right to the core. You install new beliefs. When you install new beliefs, the outside starts changing. Now I believe I can do anything I want. No matter the surgery I had, I can gain weight. Don't say that. I can lose weight. I can have a thin, fitting body no matter what. How empowering is that? This right here at this point, when you've released the old one and you're installing a new one, this is where now you can do your affirmations. Now in that meditative state, which is one I just talked about yesterday or on Wednesday, is now in that meditative state is where you can visualize how would I act? How would I stand? What words would I use? What food would I eat? And here's what happens if we're going to stick on health for a second, is now when I go to the store, oh God, those donuts smell so good. Ooh, I'm going to go and get a bag of chips. I'm going to eat at Burger King. All of those things align with your belief about health. As soon as you change your belief, all of a sudden, the things that you desire will change. So if it's about money, once you install the new belief and you go to the store, all of a sudden those things that you would have normally spent your money on are no longer interesting to you. Something else is interesting to you. Think about those beliefs that you have and how easy it is for you to spend money. How easy is it for you to eat a donut or 3 cookies or drink, every single day at lunchtime from work, I go and get a Coke at McDonald's, a large one, and I drink it for the rest of the day. I need it to keep me awake. I need it to get me through the day. I need to smoke every single time I get home because I'm so stressed out. All of those beliefs is what creates. And from those beliefs, they move you in that direction that say, yeah, this is the thing I need, right? What if you had a different belief? Because look at how easy it is for you to go to the store and get a Diet Coke. Look at how easy it is for you to light up a cigarette. Look at how easy it is for you to yell at your kids. It just comes naturally. And then we make an excuse for it. When you change the belief and you get right in there and you pluck that root out and you plant a new seed, the new behaviors are going to be just as easy. And that is what I love so much about this work. If I get in there and I pluck that root out that says, I'm going to gain weight no matter what. I've been fat my whole entire life. I'm never going to have enough money. I'm never going to find the love of my life, or relationships are hard, or you just get slow and old when you get older. And I'm just going to have to deal with it. And I go, if you change that belief, you're going to find new behavior. And you're going to go, oh, that's weird. I didn't think there was any other way to handle my kids. I didn't think there was any other way to eat. From this point, from my beliefs, nothing not only doesn't sound good, but I don't know what to eat. Remember that when I said in the beginning, we don't know what to do. When we change the belief, all of a sudden, different food gets ordered. You don't go to the restaurants that are junky food. You don't drink pop anymore. You might even get a pop and taste it and be like, ugh, this doesn't even taste good. Things start to change. That's when things get exciting. Visualizing your new beliefs. We talked about that. I just talked about that in the last episode, 447. You can go check that one out. And then practice. Once you through that visualize, but I'm telling you, once you install the new belief, you won't have to practice. It'll just be there. Now you can default. You just have to keep installing. You have to keep uncovering. Okay, so I got through that belief. What's another one? Because this isn't working. It worked for a few days and it was really easy, but all of a sudden I'm back to defaulting. Go back to your list. What other belief do you think is holding you back? Now, if this is something that you want some help with, I mentioned in the last couple episodes that I am taking on a couple of new one-on-one coaching clients. It's something that you're interested in. Please reach out to me and I'll put that as the outro so you'll know how to do that. So go tackle those beliefs and let's begin to change in a more powerful way. Wow, that may have felt like a lot of information in today's episode, but if you're looking for support and a deeper knowledge of what we talked about today, then let's connect. You can learn more about how I work and how you can work with me. Send me an email to the meditationroomtc@gmail.com, subject line, let's talk. And in the meantime, you can join my online Facebook community, Lady Rising, and mention that you came in through the podcast. I look forward to supporting you and connecting with you there.